Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And please help me welcome my very special guest, Andrew Giorgio. And
Hi,
you guys are
Marina.
saying, Andrew, who? Yeah. If you have ever seen one of my recent videos, then you know exactly who Andrew is. He is the fabulous founder of Andrew Nikki Skincare, as well as the genius behind my intro video. So, hello, Andrew.
Happy New Year, Marina. It's really great to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me. It's great. And
Thank you for
um,
joining me.
I'm glad you like that intro. I honestly, every time I hear it, I get chills every time I listen to it. But I certainly was very much trying to tune into your vibe when I was putting that together. So I feel blessed that it's something you really enjoy.
Yes, absolutely. Every single time. So, yeah, just want to say hello to a few of the folks who have joined us. Just quickly, Rose Blue, Mary Thornberry, Susan Rotella, Crazy Jane, Dawn Turner. Thank you for being here. Dawn Dawn says, hello, Marina and Andrew. I love the intro that you've been creating, Andrew. I also ordered some of your skincare line and it's amazing.
Thank you
Yes,
so much. Thank you
yes,
so
it
much.
is. Yeah. And Lynn True, nice to see you here. And Rose Blue said, I need to order the starter kit. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But before we get into the starter kit and all that kind of stuff, gonna find out from Andrew, what have you been up to?
Well, it's been an astonishing year. January 1st marked our first anniversary of going live. And I don't think I could have possibly have imagined what this past year could have been a year ago. I just, I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Um, and my I think my biggest gift, or the thing that really sort of pulled me through this year, was being able to listen to my intuition. That is for
Yes.
sure. And while this year has been extraordinary and way beyond my expectations, we certainly had challenges too, like every startup has. And I think if it wasn't for my real sort of notion to want to just tune in and say, okay, challenges are here for me to learn from.
Yes.
Uh, I think if I didn't have that sort of mentality, it would have been very easy to give up. But
Mhm.
the challenges were learnings, and every time a challenge came up, I also saw it as protection to learn something now that for the future, when we continue to grow, will help smooth the potholes in the road. And that is what, you know, my guidance, or, you know, however you want to call it, the message
Mhm.
that was coming from the universe was really telling me. And it's been extraordinary. It's been extraordinary.
Yeah, that you know what? That's what happens when you allow your spirit to communicate with you and you pay attention to what it is telling you. Because aside from the the successful skincare line is your spirituality, your connection to the divine has been kind of guiding you all along,
Yeah.
letting you know what you need to do next, where, and I'm sure where you need to focus and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. And it started from long before we went live a year ago. This has
Yes,
been a project of 4 years in the making. And
yes,
during that time, there were inspirations that said to me, Andrew, you got to start doing this now. And I never really questioned it. I would just do it, right? Because in a build up to starting a business, there are a lot of things that have to be done, right? So there are
Yes.
times I wouldn't question it, and all of a sudden, the reason why I needed to do that, what may not have been clear at the beginning, but certainly clear when it was ready and done.
Yes.
And not resisting, not fighting it, but just going with the flow and really trusting it is sort of everything that I learned in this process. And it's been remarkable. The other remarkable thing about this year is your audience. They are truly extraordinary. Um, and even with some of the little hiccups we had, for example, we launched a new LED light therapy mask. And for a few boxes, the instruction manual missed going into the package. And so I would call the customer and say, look, did you receive your instruction manual? And, when they said no, I'm like, we're really sorry. And I would apologize profusely. And they would say to me, Andrew, don't worry about it. It's Mercury retrograde. What are you worried for?
Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, that does not happen. And that kind of response is not one that I'm going to get outside of this community. But
Yes.
that's why I love this community. And that's why I feel blessed that every day this wonderful and extraordinary community has been so magnificent and just so wonderful for me.
Yes, I agree. Not only for you, but for me as well, and for um, the other readers and people that I work with that I'm familiar with. Is this has been? I think we are at the forefront of the world that we want to create, and this feeling of goodwill, this feeling of understanding, of compassion, of love, like unity, all of it is, um, we've been doing this for a few years, and so to us, it's very natural, it's very normal, and you know we're always happy when other people can come in and recognize the same thing and enjoy
Right,
that same feeling, right?
right.
That we are creating the world that we want to live in, and it's a good place.
Absolutely.
A
And
good
the
place.
last time I was on your show, we talked about intention and how
Yes,
really important intention is when
yes.
you move forward or create something or,
Mhm.
whatever it is that movement is. And intention is really important in terms of integrity.
Yes,
Um, I'll I'll give you one example. I had a customer last week write a not so terrific review. And that's been unusual because out of the 750 reviews, I can tell you 97% of them are 5 stars, for
yes,
example. And I've been blessed
yes,
with that. But this review, I woke up in the morning, I saw the review come in by email, and I'm thinking, okay, this deserves attention. So
yeah,
I had my cup of coffee, I took a moment to think about it, and I called her straight away. I said, okay, so tell me what's going on. What what do you think? She said, well,
yeah,
I've been using the product for a couple of weeks and I haven't noticed a difference. I said, tell me, how are you using the product? And she told me how she was using the product. And I said, I don't I don't want to sound disingenuous, but in actual fact, I haven't heard anyone not getting at least a little bit of benefit in a couple of weeks. Tell me again your routine. And she told me again, but this time she told me something a little more. And that
yes,
was that before she applied on the moisturizer and the serum, she was applying a toner first onto her skin from another brand, which is no problem. That's okay. And that was the that was the problem, which is a toner is designed to tighten the pores and tighten the skin, which means that if you put a moisturizer or anything over the top of that,
Yeah,
it's not going to penetrate the skin. And
exactly.
the moisturizer, we've packed it full of peptides that is designed to go deep in the skin and help stimulate the production of collagen. And for her, of course, it wasn't happening. And I said, I have to tell you, I think what's happening is that the toner is offsetting the benefits of the moisturizer. And in that aha moment for both of us, she's like, oh, that could be. And I said, here's what I'd like you to do. I want you to, for a week or two, just try our product alone. Don't start with the toner. And I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Because I paid attention, because I also reached out to her personally, she was absolutely floored. And she couldn't believe that someone would even take the time to investigate what it was that she was not so happy with. And by the end of the call, she said, Andrew, I just want to give you 5 stars for you. I'm like, no, I don't need that. All I want is for you to be
Yes.
happy. And all I want is for you to get some benefit out of the product. And I'm very happy to also give you a refund if you don't. But she was so enthusiastic. She says, I now feel like I've, you know, won the lottery just being able to figure out what the challenge was. And that's the
Exactly.
intention. That's the intention. It's
Yes.
like, everyone matters.
Yes.
Everyone matters. And there should be no one who is paying money, good hard-earned money, and not getting what they expect from it. And I think in the world that we live
Yes.
in today, that kind of service and those kind of expectations are eroding. And, to your point, we are creating something that's different.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely we are. And yeah, there is, we went from a society that was very much customer service based, where, the customer is always right. You want to make sure that you're providing good value for service and so on. We went so far the other way that customer service, it doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't
Like
exist.
yeah. And I I distinctly remember years ago, um, when I was in banking at the time, and I had a customer who had called in, and there was a particular fee that was charged, and they said, well, why am I paying you to do business with you? You're making a lot of money off of me, so why, you know and I thought, yeah, that's very, very good question. Exactly, no problem. So I had refunded whatever that fee was, and that was that. And I had my management team who were very, very upset, and who said,
Right.
no, we don't do that. We don't give them money back. And I said, well, okay, so what if they decide that they're going to take their business and they're going to go to another bank? Well, let them. I thought, oh, maybe I need to find a job somewhere else, because I don't know that there's much job security if that's your attitude,
Or
is, yeah, you
or
can't.
integrity. Right.
Or integrity. Exactly. And a few years later, their whole mindset changed. So now it was, if the customer says that, what about this fee? You immediately waive it. You don't even ask, you immediately waive it. So yeah, customer service isn't only about um, answering questions. It's about, standing in your integrity, being able to say, oh, you know what, your product didn't come with an instruction manual. I'm so sorry. Let me send it out to you. Can I do this? Can I do that? No wonder people are shocked because they're not used to that,
Right.
right? They're used to, oh, no manual. Well, can you download it online?
Right. Right. Right.
What? Have one of your
Right.
friends order it, and maybe they'll get one. You know, and you can share.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. Or you have to deal
yeah,
with a whole automated system and
yeah,
never get in touch with a live person. Um,
yes,
and where is the value? More importantly, where is the standard in that?
yes,
What standards are we, where is our standard? What are we willing
yeah,
to allow?
yes,
And what is it that we also feel like we need, that we don't want to go
yeah,
below?
yeah.
And so that's become very much a part of also why I've done what I've done. And I've mentioned this before, you know, when I first came up with formulations, particularly for the moisturizer, I
Yes,
sat in front of four very big skincare chemists, pharmacists who'd been in the game, you know, collectively for over 100 years between the four of them, and had created over 1,000 products for some of the world's biggest skincare companies. And I said, look, you know, this is the direction I want to go. More specifically, I want to create something that puts as much potential of the active ingredients in there as possible, that really works synergistically with each other and strips out as many binding agents and fillers as much as possible to get that out, you know, the cheap ingredients as much as possible. They all looked at each other and said, you know, Andrew, that's not what we're asked. We're asked exactly the opposite. You know,
exactly.
we're asked from other companies, how do we get the active ingredient down to its bare minimum where it will just do the job, but not quite, and pack it
Yeah,
with the inexpensive stuff so that they can make more profit? And I'm like, that's not what I'm here for.
yeah.
That's not what, you know, my whole intention is for. And that was also the other reason for
One of the
creating the,
reasons you've been so successful is I think
yeah,
people can recognize that, right?
right,
That
right,
the integrity is, to me, is, you know, this, people have integrity when someone is um particularly when someone is watching. That's not as important to me as someone who has integrity when no one is watching,
right,
when you're doing the right
right,
thing
right.
because it's the right thing,
That's a really good
right?
point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's absolutely right. When no one's watching and someone has integrity, you know that that's absolutely, they're doing the
yeah,
right thing.
yeah.
And yeah, I love that. I'm going to use that, Marina. I'm going
Please
to,
do.
I'm going to
Absolutely.
use it.
Yeah.
I'm going to,
It's doing the right thing when no one's watching. That,
yeah,
and you know, it's funny because that thought comes to me um when I'm driving and I come to a stop sign. I always, for some reason, remember that because I don't roll through stop signs. If there's a stop sign, I come to a full stop.
right,
Even if
right,
there's no traffic, it's
right.
no, you come to a full stop. And it makes me, um, you know, I kind of feel like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, but it's also kind of humorous in a way that nobody's here to see me if I roll. But I know
Yeah,
what I'm
right. Exactly.
doing.
Exactly.
So that makes
Exactly.
a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Susan Rotella. That is very, very generous of you. And I hope that has returned to you 1,000-fold. Yeah, that is very, very nice. And sorry, I interrupted you. Yeah.
No, no.
Um,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Um, so I I think that that is one of the reasons, among many, for the success of your line so far. And I think you probably got some fabulous things that you're going to be working on or are working on that
Yes.
maybe. Yeah, maybe you can share with some of the folks, and you guys are going to be the first to know. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been very, very blessed this year. It's been extraordinary. We sold out, 12 months of product this year within 5 months. And even while we were out of stock for 6 weeks, some of the weekend
Mm,
sales were the highest ever. And so that success doesn't, fall lightly on me. It really does mean something in terms of a responsibility to the people who are buying the product, to people who are hearing about it, and to people like you who have said, you know what, this product is good, and I really appreciate the backing and the support, not just from you, but from the entire community.
yes,
So
absolutely.
for 2026, we are looking at a big call out, by the way, for anything that has to do with under the eyes. So we're working on. We have 4 test serums in development right now for under the eyes, and we're going to narrow it down to 1 or 2. And we are potentially looking at another LED light therapy product. So we just introduced the LED light therapy face mask, and that has we did a limited run just to sort of test the waters, and we got a fantastic response. So now we're looking at one for the neck and the décolletage. So that would be something, but also some other serums and some other products as well. So 2026 for me is about calling upon people who like us, to
Hmm.
see if they want to talk about us. So if there are customers out there or people out there who've used the product and would like to do a video testimonial, um, we will bonus them with something, if they're interested. And we would like to use that video on our social media or on our website, if anyone is interested. And if anyone is interested, you can write to info@andro-nikki.com, and we'd love to hear from you. We'll get back to you and let you know.
I am going to
Um,
try to see if I have that here so that I can post it up. Oh, I don't have it. Okay, but yeah. Ha,
no problem.
hold on.
No problem.
Hold
If
on.
you,
Info.
if
I'm going to type it in for them.
okay,
Okay. Info at
Andrew,
uh Andrew
ANDRO hyphen
Nikki.
Nikki.com.
Oh, is it skincare or just .com?
.com.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. And
And then
Melanie,
we got, I'm sorry.
oh, I was going to say, Melanie Atkinson said, I just placed another order. I love your products.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Melanie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we always love to hear from our customers. We love to pay attention. I want to hear. I want to know why.
Yeah.
I want to know how. The connection with the customers is what makes us better. It is what helps us to understand what is going great, what could be improved, and just to
Mhm.
understand the experiences really helps us. So it's really important, that we pay attention when someone wants to be heard. We really want to do that. The other thing too is, we're obviously going to be having some products being tested, and if there's anyone that wants to be a guinea pig, so to speak, to test some samples, we're also happy to extend that invitation out. Again, info at andrew-nikki.com, which is great. I don't know what's coming next, so be patient on that. I don't know whether it's 2 months away, 6 months away, but just let us know that you might be interested. And then the other
Absolutely.
thing
And start
I'm sorry, go ahead.
get in on it now, you guys. Get on the list. Get on the list.
That's right.
Yeah, you
That's
could
right.
be contacted right away. It might take a little while longer. Just know that when it's your turn to test the product that is meant for you, believe that it's going to happen. So yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
reach out to Andrew and do it. Take advantage of it. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no, no, no. It's good. It's good. And then the other thing we're looking at for the back end of 2026 is to start our own YouTube channel where we would invite specialists in the alternative medicine field. So could be people who are experts in mindfulness, nutrition, alternative healthcare, any of those alternative fields where we could have an interview on YouTube to talk about skincare beyond the bottle, beyond the jar, beyond the moisturizer, beyond the products, and tips and tricks on how to take care of your skin, and even also a little bit of self-care in general that just become, great disciplines in how, taking care of ourselves. So my call out to you and your audience out there, if there are anyone who are experts in any of those fields and would be interested in a collaboration, also info at andrew-nikki.com. Drop me a line and would love to get in touch with you. So again, mindfulness, meditation, yoga, nutrition, vitamin therapy, any of those disciplines that are alternatives that people can really help to harness better skincare for themselves without the use of product.
There you go. There you go, guys. As a matter of fact, I'm going to scroll that across the. I thought I was scrolling it across the bottom,
But it's
but
there in
yeah,
big letters.
it's there in big letters. So yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do. You go on there and you yeah, take a look. Take a look. Yeah,
So
fabulous.
we'd love to hear from you. And yeah, look, we've specifically, if I want to talk about Canada as well, we did have some challenges with what's going on in the world and
Yeah,
how
and
that
Canada
has been.
Post, and yeah,
Yeah, and oh yes, that's right, and the postal strike. How could I forget that?
yeah,
Um,
yes.
and we've figured a few things out, particularly for our wonderful, wonderful Canadian audience. Um, and we have some really great cheerleaders in Canada as well, um,
Mhm.
that we've become great friends with. So we're, like I said, very, very blessed to have a connection with our friends up north.
Ah, perfect. And we're glad to be friends.
Well, right.
It's important. It it's important because yeah, like-minded people need to gather wherever they happen to be. So um yeah, I think whether you guys are here in the live chat and you're getting the information now, or if you've stumbled upon this in replay somewhere, take a look. Take a look. Make sure, get in touch with Andrew. See what's on offer. I know that I can only speak from personal experience, and I can tell you that this the product line is absolutely fabulous. There isn't anything about it that I don't like. Particularly, you start off with the foundation, the moisturizer. That's kind of the foundation. And then you've got additives depending on what it is that your skin needs. And I think it was Susan Rotella who mentioned earlier about having adult acne. There is a formulation for breakouts.
Yes, we
And
do.
so, yeah, you decide which one of the boosters, if you will, for lack of a better term, you're going to add to that moisturizer.
That's
The
right.
thing that impresses me the most is when you generally buy a moisturizer, XYZ brand, okay, you take it out of the box, you unscrew the top, and there's the product right there. And so you're putting your hands into that and taking it out. Whatever might be on your hands, on your fingers, and your nails is going into that product, right?
Right.
Unless you scoop it out, you do this, you do that. Most people don't. They just simply take it out of the jar and apply it to their face. So not only does air get into it, but all kinds of other little things that might affect the efficacy of what it is that you're using that get in there.
Right.
With Andrew's, it's like a little pump. You pump on the top, and just the right amount of moisturizer is delivered. Okay, so you take that out. You haven't messed with the moisturizer itself. You then, same thing, when
Yeah.
you apply the in fact, hold on. I'm just gonna grab one here. Okay. So
I have one too.
yes. Yeah. Then when you're going to add one of the serums, come on out. Okay. There you go. It's yes.
Oh, we picked the
Love.
same one. Out of 7, we picked the same color.
So yeah, you take off the top, okay? There's a little thing on the bottom that says open, close. Okay. You put it on open, you turn it upside down, you hit the little pump up here, and it delivers the exact amount that you need. You don't have to worry about, am I using too much? Am I not using enough? It delivers what you need, right?
A lot
And
of people
again,
have, yeah, a lot of people have asked me, Andrew, why are they different? Why is there a serum and a moisturizer? So,
yes,
I talked before about the fact that, the moisturizer was critical for me, that it did not have,
yes,
not be stacked with fillers and binding agents. And indeed, when you want to change the functionality of that moisturizer, you need something that will bind the serum to the moisturizer. So, to change the performance.
yes,
Um, and 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 so that was for me very important, is not to have another binding agent to sort of pull it all together. But more specifically, um, knowing that your skin changes every single day,
yes,
because of your diet, because of hydration, because of what you drank the night before or didn't drink the night before, or the weather, or the atmospheric conditions, whatever it is, your skin every day is different. Even because,
yes,
you know, we age a day, even just that alone.
yes,
So to your point, when you open a jar that you normally get, it's the same every day, but your skin is not. So by
yes,
being able to change the amount of serum that you put into the moisturizer to be able to respond to your skin, because you know how your skin feels when you wake up, and you know why your skin feels
yes,
the way it does when you wake up. You backtrack in your mind of, what did I eat yesterday? What did I drink yesterday? What did I
yes,
do yesterday? Then straight away, intuitively, And consciously you say, okay, a little bit of extra serum will be great, perhaps less moisturizer or more moisturizer, or apply them at intervals. So moisturizer first, serum on top. There are lots of ways in which people can respond.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I told this story once before, but the story that has always illuminated my heart is someone who called to talk about the product. She wanted to find out a little more about some more products. She had been using the nighttime repair booster serum and the moisturizer every night. And she said to me, my husband noticed a big change in my skin. And so my husband now uses the product. And I said, that's great. What was he using before? She said, nothing. I said, okay, well, that's a big compliment. She said, yes, every night before we go to bed, we both stand in front of the mirror and we each apply, our routine moisturizer and nighttime repair. And by the way, she said, I have to tell you, this week he'll be 90.
Nice.
And, for me, that just illuminated my heart, because
Yes.
for someone to want to make such a change in their routine, was astonishing for me. And let's be honest, also for a guy as well, um,
Yes.
it was wonderful. Like I said, it illuminated my heart, and I will never forget that story. It was,
Oh,
really great. So,
I love it. I love it. And it's amazing um how often women will bring the product into the house, and all of a sudden you notice that, why do I have to order this again? Who's going through my stuff? You're going through the stuff. Okay,
yeah,
then. Alrighty,
that's
just so
right.
I know. Yeah.
That's right.
And Don wanted to know, how many pumps of the serum would someone use on average?
On average, about two squirts into the moisturizer. But again, if you feel your skin needs three, go for it.
Yeah.
Um, Now, there are also people who are using the serum on their own. And
Yes.
for some people who have some symptoms that might be a little more intense, perhaps dark spots, perhaps uh, changing color pigmentation, they might use the serum first and then put the moisturizer on later. I know Sherry, for example, um, Voices from the Swamp, Sherry, um, started to
Yes.
use the anti-aging booster serum on her dark spots just by itself.
Yes.
And she then got on one of her shows and said, look, my dark spots that I've been dealing with for 10 years have gone. I
Yes.
fell off my chair because, of course, the anti-aging booster serum was not designed for dark spots. So, of course, I call her straight away. I'm like, Sherry, tell me, what have you been doing? And she told me, and I said, that's really great. She said, and I will tell the world. And I'm like, okay,
And she
thank you.
does.
And she does. And
Yes.
and so
Yeah.
um, this is one of the reasons why I love hearing from our customers, because anecdotal stories like that, when people tell me that something has happened beyond what I would have expected,
Yes.
that gives us a great foundation to be able to talk to other people who are having similar experiences or challenges with their
Hmm.
skin, and we can give these stories or tell what other customers are doing, and that just makes the whole sort of customer service process even better.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so we love that. So
Absolutely.
never feel reluctant about calling us. Never feel reluctant about writing us an email. We want to hear. We want to hear from you, and we'd
Yes.
love to even talk to you over the phone.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? Yeah, the product itself is so good that, really, I think that you will instinctively know how it is that you want to use it, and where it is that you want to use it. A
Indeed.
little product goes a long way.
Yes.
I find, yeah, if I do two pumps of the moisturizer, and then 1 pump on each of the serums that I'm adding to it. It's a routine. I do it in the palm of my hand. I then, mush it around together and apply it. And when there are those little areas that I think might need a little more, then I'll just take the serum, do another drop of serum, and do that directly, right? I think that we instinctively know what we
Yeah,
need to do, right? So there
absolutely
is
right.
no right or wrong way of using the product. There really
Not
isn't.
not at all.
Yeah.
And
Experiment with it.
it's not like you can
Yeah.
overdose. Though I will
Yeah.
say, I had another customer call me to talk about how the product was not performing as anticipated. And again, I asked her the same question, just walk me through the routine. So come to find out that in actual fact, she had been layering on so much that her skin was trying to hold on to it all. And your point of a little goes a long way is really true. I would always say to someone, start with a very small amount first, and then just as you adapt and change and determine how that feels for you, you will find the groove, and it won't take long in terms of how your skin will respond. And for this one customer, once she started putting on less, of course, the effects started to happen. The change that she was looking for started to occur. And that was a big reminder. It's like, okay, a little goes a long way for sure.
Yeah. When it comes to diamonds and jewels, bigger is better. When it comes to other things, less is more.
Less is
So
more. That's right.
yeah, yeah. I find
Right.
in the summertime, if I do 1 pump of the moisturizer, that's enough. In the wintertime, if I'm
Right.
outside, 2 works better. And
Yeah.
oh, Patricia Franzino just walked in and she said, "Good evening, everyone. I love the skincare, Andrew Nikki."
Thank you, Patricia.
Ab- yes,
We love you too.
absolutely. Yes. And I will, let me see. Uh, yeah. Rose Blue said earlier, y'all readers who use his stuff. Only reason I will order because you are honest.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Rose Blue.
Thank you. That
Yes,
means that touches me enormously. It
yes,
really does touch me. I'm kind of verklempt right
yeah,
now. And thank you so much for even discerning that. I really appreciate it.
yes, exactly. And you know what? For those of us that use the line, um, we wouldn't be telling you about it if it didn't work, right? If that there's a certain level, a certain point that that as creators, we are approached by companies. Well, if I send you this product, can you do this? Can you do that? If if a product doesn't feel energetically good to me, very often I don't even answer. Okay. In with Andrew's product, it was Sherry. Sherry was the one who said, "Hey, by the way, I got this new stuff. It's absolutely fantastic," and whatnot. It's like, okay, all right. The word of mouth advertising is priceless.
Right.
Priceless. Because yeah, people will understand. They know where you're coming from. They know that you are not um just selling them something to sell them something. So yeah.
So my intention for this has been very clear from the very beginning. I wanted
Yes.
the best that it could possibly be. But I think
Yes.
one of the most extraordinary things that happened this year was the fact that I was introduced to this incredible community with
Yes.
you, with Sherry, with Mel, Linda, Arthur.
Yes.
And I've never asked anyone to say anything on my behalf, never. But the connection, because I really also do believe that the way in which I've moved through this has been through
Yes.
a very deep universe connection, that I have something to tell. I have a story to tell, and I
Yes.
know that it's been more than just me. It's me, you know, my guidance, my grandmother, bless her soul. Um, and it's been extraordinary. Like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, I never could have in a million years expected to have happened what happened. And it did, and I feel very, very blessed. And your backing and support has been extraordinary, as with everyone else. But more importantly, your viewers who've become my customers are the most incredible people on the face of the earth. And that's the reason why I'm here to be of service, to be the
Yeah.
best I can be for them.
Yeah. And people recognize that uh, this is more than just a business. This is more than just something you do. This is a passion. And Teresa Teagarden Chicken said, "Yeah, you can tell that the products are made with truth and love. Just feel right." Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
absolutely,
That means a lot.
absolutely, yeah, totally. And then there was yeah, Elaine V said, "I use the line of Andrew Nicky skincare. It is phenomenal." Exclamation points. Makes your skin so soft and smooth. Will you be adding an eye cream?
We're
Stay
working on it.
tuned, Elaine.
Yes, we're working on it. Indeed. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
we have
So
some
for
formulations in the works.
yes, now for those folks who maybe are not that familiar um, with the the story, and you've always been a spiritual person. But I think it's incredible when, for those who don't know the story, where did Andrew Nicky come from?
The name Androniki.
Yeah,
Um, so when my mother was pregnant with me, um, in her first trimester, she had a dream, a recurring dream of a woman with very strong features dressed in black or dark clothing, tell her that she had to name her first child after her, after this woman. Now, when my parents were married, my grandmother had already passed away, and so my mother did not meet her mother-in-law, you know. Um, and so the first night, my mother woke up from this dream and thought, wow, what was that, and who is she?
yeah,
The second night, my mother tells the story of how she woke up from the dream the second night, and she was kind of perturbed by it, but she sort of went back to sleep. And on the third night, she woke up my father and said, "Listen, I've got to tell you, I've been having this dream, and I have no idea what it even
woman
means."
won't let me sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And my father said, "Describe this woman to me." Now, they were newly married, so, the
yeah,
process of discovery was still there.
yes,
And so my mother described this woman, and my father said, "Wait a minute." And so he gets up, he goes into a cupboard in the very back, pulls out a box full of photos, and digs to the very bottom and pulls out a photograph and shows it to my mother and says, "Would it be this woman?" And of course, she freaked out because it was. It was his mother. Now, his mother, my grandmother's name is Androniki. And when I was born, I was named after her. My actual, birth name is Andronicus. And so that's how I was baptized. But when I was born, I was given 24 hours to live. And my my mother went into labor on February 10th, and I was born on February 14th. My grandmother's birthday, Androniki, is February 10th. And again, I was given 24 hours to live. The priest, they bring the priest into the
Yes.
hospital, of course, to make sure that, this baby's going to go to heaven. He threw some water on the incubator, and the next day I made apparently a miraculous recovery once they baptized me Andronicus. And then from there, that's the story. So as I was looking for a name for this skincare line, I was looking for names with derma something or skin this, and
Yes.
all those names had been hijacked by, the web name
Yes.
hubs. And they wanted $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a name or more. And with no website assigned to them, just someone had captured the name and held on to it. And I just wasn't going to be put to ransom that way. And I just didn't want to play that game. So after about 150 different names of trying to get this figured out, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I need a masculine and feminine name, a masculine and feminine name. And in that moment, as I'm sort of tuning in to the universe, I saw my grandmother's name broken into two, Andrew and Nikki. And that was that. It was covered in chills,
Yes.
this sort of thunderbolt of energy down my
Yes.
spine. And I saw her, I could see her just nodding her head. And it was like, okay, well, this is it. And then as I started to ask family and relatives about her even more, once I registered the name, I also found out she had won beauty pageants in her town. She was an incredibly courageous woman, very, very strong, very determined. She had 6 children. And, I really do feel in many ways, there's a legacy that she wanted to continue with. And I feel like she's passed the baton, and, she wanted to do more in life. A lot of my relatives tell me that. And she was not in a situation where she could. And I feel like, we're sort of in this together. God love her.
Absolutely. Like divine guidance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She basically set out the plan. She set the intention of what she wanted, and this is what she wanted to formulate. This is what she wanted to make. This is who she wanted to make it. And then, yeah, she talked to whoever she had to in spirit world, and all of a sudden, yeah, your parents get married. You're on the way. All these things, when you look at all the little synchronicities in life,
Yes.
on their own, they might be little individual acts, but when you look at it as a whole,
Right.
it tells the story. It's an undeniable story
Right.
that this was definitely a divine plan, that was meant to be given to you, that was meant for you to carry through. And the fact um, that you did it, that you're doing it, is it's very heartwarming. It's it's like good for you, good for you for this. And I know that wherever she is, yeah, she's smiling down. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, just you saying that, I'm covered in chills, because I
Yes.
see her often. And,
Yes.
when things are going right, I just see her nodding her head with a smile on her face. And
Yes.
that's my signal of knowing, you know, I was named after her. There's obviously a connection somewhere. It may not have been this
Yes.
lifetime, but, you know, there is something deeper there. And I'm
Yes.
very blessed to have acknowledged that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And good for you for
Yeah.
doing it, because I think it would be such a shame um if you weren't guided through your intuition to do what you did. If you were the kind of person who said, yeah, skincare line, nah, not my thing, you don't know what world of possibilities you would have turned your back on, right?
Well,
And
yeah, absolutely. I tell the story of I had a reading with Mel Doer uh, a few years
mhm,
ago as I was sort of putting all this together. And he was very clear to me in that reading. He said, first of all, he said, "What are you waiting for?" And I said, there's a lot at stake here. He said, "Of course there is." He said, "But let me be clear to you. If you don't do it this lifetime, you're going to come back and you're going to have to do it all over again. So you have to figure out for yourself, when do you want to do this? And if
yeah,
the timing is ready for now, the timing is ready for now. Otherwise, you will come back to have to do it when you come back."
yes,
I'm like, okay, that's convinced me. Now's the time to do
yes,
it. I mean, there's no time
exactly.
like now. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I, that
So,
that is fabulous. That is those synchronicities, that divine guidance coming in, and all that it required of you was faith in the belief, faith
yes,
in the I'm going forward.
yeah,
Is and am I a little afraid? Of course, but you you look fear in the face and you say, "Oh, get thee behind me." You know, yeah,
yeah,
push me
yeah,
forward,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. And, finding that the faith is bigger and stronger than the fear is the propulsion,
Yes,
is what pushed me forward. And it is without a question of a doubt that the encouragement from people that know me, loved ones, the people around me who were there to cheer me on, to help me to move forward, including people like you, Marina, and Linda and Mel and Sherry and
yes,
everyone else.
very, yeah,
That in and of itself is the energy that pushes me forward and helps to put the fear far behind.
yes,
And I think for anyone venturing into anything new is to be around those who are going to be your cheerleader. That's what's going to help you to break through. Because if you're not, the naysayers are everywhere, but it's
yes,
better not to be around them. Much better not to be
exactly,
around them.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
you
What
know,
you concentrate on is what you will achieve.
right,
And yeah, if you're, um, you're going to have thoughts anyway. They're going to come in. Well, make them positive. You know, you have a choice. Make them positive. Choose to live in joy and happiness. Choose to live in the possibility of what is coming, rather than spending time in the rearview mirror. What was? That's
right,
gone. You can't do anything about that. Just
right.
yeah, yeah. You're focused on the future. So I
That's right.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
And Melanie Atkinson said, "Thank you, Marina and Andrew. We all need something positive in our world right now." Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And be,
Thank you so much.
yeah, be that shining light. Be the beacon for others, that they can, they can come to you and they say, "Well, how come you're so happy all the time?" Because I choose to live in joy. Oh, how do you
Yeah.
do that? Well, okay, here's some of the things that I do. Pick whatever works for you. right? So,
Right.
Andrew, thank you so much for joining me. This was absolutely wonderful and fascinating. I can't wait to hear more about the products. And if we gather again, maybe this time next year, and I'm sure we will, it's yeah, the story of your success is going to be fabulous.
Well, thank you, Marina. Thank you for inviting me. And it's really wonderful just to spend the time with you, and just to share my story is an honor and a privilege and an absolute pleasure. And yes, if I can spread a little bit of happiness and a little bit of hope, because we all need hope right now, then I
Yes.
feel like I've accomplished something a little more today. And thank you for letting me share my story.
You are more than welcome. And just want to remind you guys that if you have any questions about the product, if you you know, there's something that you're wondering, you have a particular condition and you're not sure, reach out. Reach out
Absolutely.
to info@andrew-nicky.com, and they will get back to you. And
Absolutely.
they will let you know, and they're going to be honest with you. So there you go. I hope that helps. And thank you guys for being here with us. And much love to everyone. And I'll see you throughout the week. And Andrew, once again, thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, everyone. Bye for now.